This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24. Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 29th of March 2020 for another release week. There was a few releases this week. Hopefully you are all staying safe, healthy, and remembering to wash your hands and stay at home. And don't forget to check out the guys over at FS Elite or helisimmer.com for some great daily challenges for you to learn some new skills and explore some new things as part of your extra time you get to spend doing our favorite hobbies. But moving on with the release news for this week for you to enjoy some cool new places and things, we're going to start this week with the guys over at Orbx releasing their latest in their OpenLC line of products with their release of Africa. Now, this is a release that was delayed several times, and it looks like it may have definitely been very much worth it. So, their release of OpenLC Africa for all of the ESP platforms, so FSX all the way through to Prepared V4 and everything in between. It includes over 30 million... Well, actually, no, you know what? Before I get through the details, I should probably explain what is land class. Okay, so land class essentially is what a bit of terrain is characterized at. Is it characterized as farmland, as suburbia, as industry, as forest, as rainforest, as mountainous, tundra, all that kind of stuff. It also relates to land class data beyond that, including vector data. So vector land class data. So vector data is things like roads, rails, power lines, stuff like that. Now, all of those, when you combine them together, also translates into things like cities, towns, population centers, parks, golf courses, all sorts of fun stuff like that. So, if you, one of the things that happens with a lot of sims is that you have what's called geotypical textures get placed there, which basically means that there's a map of, there's a lot of data, various data maps you can access from various different resources around the world, which will say this particular spot or this particular area is residential suburbia, low density residential. This area is high density residential. This is high density commercial, low density commercial, blah blah blah, etc., etc., etc. So what this does is this leverages off that sort of information out there, and so instead of maybe having, so you may not see the exact house that you would expect to see there, instead you would see a set of houses where you would expect to see a set of houses. So it gives you a realistic feel without necessarily being 100% accurate. It's something that simulators, since virtual simulators have relied on since time immemorial. So what does this new pack from Orbx actually give you? Essentially what it does is that it gives you up-to-date land class data and a variety of new land class textures for the entire continent of Africa, which also includes so Egypt, everywhere from Egypt to Morocco to Cape Town, through to Madagascar, everything in between is all covered by this, over 30 million square kilometers. Includes a variety of new land class textures as well. So one of the things that for those who have especially if you did a lot of flying, pre a lot of these add-ons coming out for whether it be X-Plane or FSX or Prepared or any of your sims, you would notice that you would see a lot of repeating of textures if you spend a lot of time, especially long-haul routes. So by adding in a huge range of new alternate land class textures, then actually Orbx actually gives us a lot more options, or gives the sim a lot more options about what to portray when we're flying over certain ground. So it makes your trips a lot less repetitive by the textures that you see. As I said, it includes a whole slew of new vector land class data, which also includes roads, rivers, streams, all that kind of stuff as well, which includes over 216,000 settlements throughout the continent. That's a lot of populated areas. All 4 seasons are depicted as well. Includes a variety of optional LED city night lighting as well. Includes also a custom 76-meter terrain mesh of Africa as well. Not sure how that's going to go, whether that clashes or whether it's an optional where you can not use that because a lot of people may have the Pilots FS Global mesh, which is, I think, has better resolution than that of Africa. I think it's got 20-meter resolution of Africa. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does. So we'll be definitely interested to see whether or not you can turn that off or not. There is also, for those who do love your photoreal, there is also 7 photoreal areas of a variety of famous mountains and craters, including Mount Kilimanjaro, all included as well. So, looking pretty damn amazing, pretty damn awesome. As I said, it's been a product they've had in the work for a number of years. Great to actually see it finally released. Not only that, they're launching it with a release discount special as well. So, currently it's going to be available for $30 on launch special. When it finishes up, the launch special will go up to around about $40 or your original equivalent. Available now from Orbx. Continuing on with ESP full family releases this week, AA Sceneries releases their latest release this week with their release of their reboot of Phuket International Airport. I know a lot of you would pronounce that differently, but trust me, it is pronounced Phuket. Okay, so this is the latest reboot. This is, as I said, it's a reboot of their existing original version of this airport from several years ago for FSX. This now makes it fully compatible with FSX and prepared in all its variety of forms as well. It updates the airport layout as it appears at the start of this year, start of 2020, including all 3 main terminals and a note of updated nav data, updated airport layout, taxiways, etc., etc., etc. Also includes revamped animations, including updated jetways supported now by SODE control, as well as updated night lighting for the prepared versions as well, and a variety of custom ground clutter, custom details, and full SOD animated windsocks as well. A couple of interesting things to note as well. It's interesting that they've actually put this in there as a note because obviously somebody has probably complained about it already. So this is one of those airports in the world where the ILS isn't actually lined up with the runway. It is actually offset. There are quite a few of them around the world, actually, just for those who might be interested. This is a 1.4 degree offset ILS. So for all of you Tubeliners pilots who thought you could just be hands off and just set and forget and let it land itself, no, you can't. You actually have to fly the aeroplane. Just be aware. Otherwise, looking pretty cool. Doesn't seem to include anything, as I said, includes photoreal scenery of the airport with a variety of seasons, but nothing outside the airport. Still, probably what you're going to be looking for, so not too bad pricing for this one, coming in at $20 or original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. Continuing on with other ESP family releases, the guys over at Samsung 3D have released another city release this week. We're releasing their rendition of Prague with their Prague Century X release. So this includes photoreal scenery of the entire area of Prague, of the city of Prague. Includes over 10,000 custom autogen buildings redone in a Czech style. Includes a whole heap of custom visual models, including a variety of the major hotels, buildings, business centers, banks, churches, and a variety of other squares and landmarks, all custom modeled and included. Full set of night lighting textures are included as well. A variety of custom autogen for the area is included for the city as well. It's designed to be fully compatible with Orbx products. Now, an interesting note for this one as well is that this one may it says best used for a tour flying over the city at 1,600 feet. So you can probably, assuming obviously high can give you decent as well. So maybe helicopter pilots, this may or may not be for you, but for most of us low and slow GA pilots, this should be fine for us as well. Now, interestingly enough, these guys are offering this one for $20 from Samsung's website directly. However, they are offering a stay-home discount of 10%, which you can put in at checkout, available now from Samsung. Continuing on with more releases this week, this time for Prepared V4 exclusive release. Actually, the only Prepared V4 exclusive release this week was Imagine Sim releasing their rendition of Barbados International Airport. So they've been teasing this one with us since sort of late last year, and they've actually finally come out with a highly detailed rendition of it. Airport, so Grantley Adams International Airport. It's the airport as it appears during 2019. Includes high definition textures modeled throughout, including full implementation of PBR on major buildings and full use of PBR on the water and ground effects included as well. Includes a variety of different static objects as well as full support for AI coverage as well. Includes native prepared ground polys which support PBR, things like rain and water effects as well. Full implementation of HD night lighting effects included as well. Variety of trees and custom library objects as well. Interestingly enough, this one's also one of the few products around at the moment that use SimWorks Studio's live scenery module for adding additional content, including apron service and support vehicles and other things around the airport as well. So SimWorks Studios are sort of trying to pitch that as a alternative to SODE, I think, in some ways. So it could be interesting to see how this goes, because I think this is the first major scenery that actually uses it. So could be interesting. Includes the airport as well as a high detailed rendition of the airport, as well as the 10 square kilometer area coverage of the airport area. Doesn't seem to be much else of the around area, but of the area surrounding the airport. But it does include some visual models for some major buildings. Doesn't tell us what. So yeah, that one's coming in, available direct from ImagineSim, coming at about $29 US, or original equivalent, available now from ImagineSim. Moving out of the ESP platforms and moving into the world of X-Plane 11, only one release that I could find this week, and that was actually a freeware release, which was really cool. So Carmen Studio famous for doing a lot of sort of World War II aircraft over the years, has released their rendition of the T6 Texan and released it to the community for free. They've noted that it's got a very highly detailed 3D model both internally and externally, and with hugely amazing high definition texture set throughout as well, fully compliant with X-Plane 11's PBR services as well, so looking pretty damn amazing. They have said though, I don't know whether there's a comment on this one, but they've said that it is welcome for the community if they would like to upload updates to the flight model. So I don't know whether that means that they're just not confident in the flight model, which for a company like them that's expert at World War II aircraft, I was kind of expecting that's an odd request to put in there, but who knows? Either way, you can't go wrong with a high definition, beautiful 3D model of a beautiful, very apt trainer for this great period of with this challenging period of our lives. Available now from xplane.org. And that was all the flight sim news this week. So moving out of the flight sim world, moving into the world of city simulation. Cities Skylines came out with a slew of releases this week. So they came out with their first one was their latest piece of major DLC, which is called Sunset Harbor, which is it's got a couple of interesting things here about this one as well. It basically it's designed for a variety of different fishing sort of seaside sort of options here. So you actually get a variety of fish. You get some fishing industry buildings. You get some new mass transit options. So you get water treatment plants. You got new bus systems, including intercity bus services as well. But the thing that's really kind of cool for me is, because you're a bit of an advocate, is that it has an aviation club, which encourages, and to quote this, encourages small plane owners to take part in recreational flying. Like, that's cool. Like, it looks like it's set up like an air park. So I'm really impressed by that. That looks cool, and it looks like they use possibly a Robin DR400 as their sort of recreational aircraft. So that's cool. 5 new maps include this one as well. So this one's coming in pretty standard price for this one, coming in at $15 US, or original equivalent, available now on Steam. And of course, to go along with this one, they released a audio pack of Coast to Coast Radio, which includes 16 new tracks to go along with Sunset Harbor. Now this one's available standalone for $4 US, or you can pick it up as part of a bundle with the Sunset Harbor pack as well. In the third piece of DLC for City Skylines this week, we saw the latest content creator pack. This time it's detailing modern Japan. So this one comes to us from a very talented building and prop modder, Ryochuki Kaminogi. I absolutely certain I made a balls up of that name, which is the first official Japanese buildings to be added to the City Skylines franchise, including a range of ornate models ranging from impressive skyscrapers to cozy udon and ramen shops. And of course, a portion of the funds raised for this one will go directly to the modder, which is always nice. So this one you pick it up for $5 or original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving from the macro scale down to a bit more of the micro scale, moving into the permanent way, Train Sim World saw a latest route add-on release this week with a release of their Hauptstrasse Rhein-Ruhr Duisburg-Bochum route. Essentially, this is an incredibly active and very, very busy route in Germany on Deutsche Bahnhof's Rhein-Ruhr sort of sector. It includes 28 miles of route between Duisburg and Bochum. This includes, not only do you get the highly detailed route, you also get 2 new trains for this one. You get the Deutsche Bahnhof BR 425 and 422 EMU in the red livery that it comes through here. Not only do you get the major route, you get the regional route, but you also get the S-Bahn routes between those two, between Essen and Bochum as well. You get, for those 2 trains that you get highly detailed, feature-rich driving cabs with accurate, true-to-life performance and handling, authentic and detailed sound recordings from actual trains into those ones. Journey mode featuring over 20 hours of activities, as well as 5 detailed scenarios and 100 jobs to do around the route as well. So, pretty standard release for these guys here, looking pretty damn impressive. This one coming in at standard price of $30 or original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving from Train Sim World into the Train Sim 2020 world, this Train Sim Marketplace saw the release of a scenario pack this week of the Weardale and Testdale scenario pack. So Weardale and Testdale was part of the British Rail's sort of content that was a bit of a legacy part of the British railway system that was closed down sort of in the 1980s after being affected by a lot of the closures of various other a lot of the traffic that was there during the 1960s and 70s, and eventually services were eventually removed and the line was officially closed in the 1980s. But this gives you a chance to bring it back to life, and you can actually experience it all now here with 10 new scenarios. As usual with many of these scenario packs, you do need to have some additional content, obviously including, most obviously, the Weardale and Testdale network route. You also need to have the British Rail Class 105, the LNER Peppercorn Class K1, and the BR Blue Pack locomotive add-on, all included in your sim to be able to use this one. And you're looking at standard price for 10 scenarios, so $10 for 10 scenarios, $1 each, not bad. Grab it now, available now on Steam. Moving from the rails onto the asphalt, or moving into the garage anyway, with Car Mechanics Simulator 2018 releasing their latest piece of DLC this week with their release of their Chrysler DLC. Now this is a very light DLC I think for this one, and I feel like this one's actually been rushed to market, and normally Playway are pretty good about releasing stuff when it's finished rather than just rushing out the door. This one feels rushed, even just looking at it. And I'll be honest, I haven't played with it yet, but I'm looking at it and it looks rushed. So you get 2 cars with this one. You get the 2008 Chrysler 300C SRT8 and the 1975 Chrysler Cordoba. You get 2 engines included, so the 6.81 Hemi V8 and the 5.9 V8 Mopar LA. But none of the tuning packs that you expect to see are included. Apparently they're coming in a later patch, but it's like, why not just wait until the assets are ready? Why try and rush it to market? That just seems odd. So I just feel that's a bit odd, but anyway. So if you want to pick this one up though, you can pick it up for $5 or original equivalent, available now on Steam. And finally, rounding out the NovaWrap for this week, Dirt Rally 2.0 came out with a release that feels like it's almost like I don't know whether it should be a standalone game or not, but Colin McRae. Colin McRae is, of course, a very, very famous name in the world of rally driving. And I feel like there was whole other game that has his name to it at some point somewhere out there. I'm sure it does. But anyway, so this is the Colin McRae Flat Out Pack. This includes 40 challenging scenarios from 3 decades of Colin McRae's career, including 12 new rally routes throughout Perth and Kinross in Scotland, as well as Colin's Subaru Impreza S4 Rally and Subaru Legacy RS vehicles, all included. So this one's, considering how much content you get for this one, this is a pretty damn good value pack. This one coming in at $10 for this one, available now on Steam or for your preferred console version, available now. And with that, folks, that does round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and you want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for joining me. Take care. Safe skies to all. Keep washing your hands. Stay home in flight sim or sim of your choice. Stay home in rail sim. Stay home in car sim. Stay home in city build. Do anything. Just stay home and stay safe. Take care, folks. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.